TV worthy. Only the fact because Maurice looked good in that outfit.
Maurice, not Maurice. God damn it!
and look, it's a nitpicky thing, but I think it's TV quality, and then there's pay-per-view worthy.
Yeah.
But we knew what you meant, though.
She looked amazing. Like the whole intro, I was just don't be an a-hole. Rob, hey, look, like Rob said, y'all knew what I meant though. I see, you know what, guys? I'm sorry. You guys put me on here to poke fun at me.
No, hey, Doc, now we love you, Doc. You know that. Don't even try it. You know we love you, Doc.
Welcome to the Third Generation Wrestling Podcast with your hosts, Eric and Rob.
Welcome in, everybody. Third Generation Wrestling Podcast, 3GW. It's the first day of the year, 2022. Welcome in, everybody. Your host, DaReaL Big E. Proud to have my crew here. Of course, joined by the OG himself, Rob the Ambassador. What's going on?
Man, not too much, man. Always optimistic. I said it last time when we podcasted. New year, which means just a new opportunity for good things to happen, and I'm excited about it.
Okay. And, of course, joined by host of the Countdown Podcast, MJ Book. What's happening?
Hey, y'all. It's always good to be on here. It's here to talk about some wrestling.
Wrestling. Yeah, it's been a while since we talked about wrestling.
Some wrestling.
It's good to be back in the game. And, of course, wouldn't be complete without Doc Stevens. Doc's in the building. Put your kids away. Hide them. Do whatever you got to do.
It's the first of the month. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Yeah, man, I'm happy to be here. Happy New Year to all the people. Happy 22. Like Uncle Rob said, good things, man. Good things coming to 22.
Oh, yeah. One of the things I want to do this year, because it was such a thoughtful gift, put out by Book himself, gifted myself and Rob a copy of AEW All Out, which we attended. So I still haven't watched it. Still in the plastic, as you can see, because I still haven't watched it yet. Been busy, but I do appreciate the gift, most definitely, and I can't wait to watch it back. It's one thing to be there live and experience it, but you definitely want to see it from that other perspective. And anytime I go to an event, I do want the actual copy to commemorate the fact that I was there. So again, thank you, Mr. Book, for getting that.
No problem, man.
Got it.
And I want to also say thank you. I have not picked up my copy yet, but he gifted me as well, and I want to show my appreciation. So thank you, Book.
Not a problem. The three of us should have that copy. It was a great event.
Yeah.
So if you get things because you went to the event, what do you get for getting on my nerve?
What?
Nothing. Let's go to the show.
You gonna get an ass whooping? What you gonna get?
Well, that's the answer to your question, Doc, I guess.
Yeah.
Did Madcap Moss write that for you?
Yeah, because that was ill time. Like,
What the hell was that?
No, I was just wondering. He's like, oh, I like to get things because I went to the event. I got it. So I want to know
it's gonna be another event. Keep talking. What Chris Rock say? You keep campaigning for his ass whooping, you're gonna get elected.
There you go.
Oh man. All right. Well, it's day one of 2022, and it's day one of WWE. Excuse me. And well, we've been harping on it every episode. The ambassador sends us off with the same message. Lo and behold, the tribal chief, the head of the table himself, Roman Reigns, contracted COVID-19 and was unable to compete tonight. We said this would happen. We said it. And to the cherry on top, the fact that they said, oh, we're not going to test anybody anymore.
Stupid.
What? Because they didn't want this to happen. Now, I mentioned this earlier because Rob and I were talking. What would happen if you invested in 2 nights of WrestleMania and you got, let's just say for shits and giggles, The Rock and Roman Reigns, biggest match of all time, biggest match in 10 years probably. And night before, or you wake up the day of and it's like, oh, hey, Roman got COVID, so yeah, that match ain't happening. Yeah. And this is just the result of people not getting vaccinated. Okay. It was explained over and over again. If everyone just gets vaccinated, it'll go away. You might still be, if you had it, you probably still live with those, the enzymes and the cells in your body, but you won't get sick and it won't hurt you. And you damn sure won't be contagious. But no, we got people out here with their beliefs and this and that. And, okay, go fit. That's fine. You believe in what you believe. But my only argument is, and it's the same one I've been using, and I don't want to get too preachy, but it's just kind of come to a head now where you can't ignore it. When we were all kids, everybody in elementary school had to line up and go get shots. It was not an option. You either get the shot or you don't go here. And we all got tetanus,
measles, rubella,
all that,
chicken pox,
all that. Nobody argued. Okay, yeah, go ahead. I don't want to get it. Now all of a sudden it's COVID, and it's the government trying to chip you, trying to track you. I'll say it again. All you idiots out there, this is the fucking tracking device. Because every single one of us has it. Can't live without it. They made it so we can't live without it. So what?
And for those only listening, Big E's talking about cell phones.
Cell phones, yeah. All y'all out there listening, watching, got an iPhone or Android or even just I don't care if it's a Walmart janky phone. It's still a smartphone. It's a smart device that can connect to the Wi-Fi and you can do everything you need to do. That's how they track you. Because every single one of these things has a camera. You think they can't turn this fucking camera on? Come on now. They flew to the moon. What year did they fly to the moon? Go to the moon? In the 60s? It's 2022. You think they can't control a camera on any device?
Microphone, right?
Anyway, I'm done.
But yeah, you're right. Definitely, you want to get those shots. Now, obviously, I've gotten my shots, and if we get sometimes a little personal, so I don't mind saying it. I recently contracted it, but I hope to recover and get through it just fine. So even if you get those shots, still you want to be safe, protect yourself, wear the masks, try to stay away from the large groups if you can. Just protect yourself, protect others.
I'm just tired of saying the same shit and not getting anywhere. But anyway, it's day one. It's the first pay-per-view of the year, and kicked off here with a tag team match. It was supposed to be a tag team match with Ridge Holland and Sheamus versus Ricochet and Cesaro. Everybody watch the kickoff?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, we all kind of saw what happened, the move that Ricochet did. I don't think, obviously, it's kind of inadvertent because he was flipping, so it's a little hard. I don't know. Maybe Ridge Holland was out of place. I think, if I'm not mistaken, you're supposed to turn your head so that doesn't happen. That's what I was thinking. But it these things happen. It wasn't on purpose. It wasn't intentional. My man's nose just freaking exploded, and he was done. I mean, the blood was in the ring and everything. But while I did predict Ridge Holland and Sheamus to win, that was a tag team to win against another tag team. Not one guy beating two guys, making them both look like idiots. And that's what the hell happened. So I won't go GFY, but I will go some bullshit because that's some bullshit. Two guys beating one. I mean, one guy beating two guys, okay? And it's Cesaro. It's freaking Cesaro. It's not just some bum. And Ricochet, it just goes a long way to saying we've been saying how they treat certain wrestlers and why certain wrestlers don't want to be in the fucking company. Some bullshit from me. Rob, go ahead.
Yeah, man, I can't put that on Holland because he's just laying there. It's either on Cesaro or Ricochet. They didn't get enough on that rotation. And yeah, Ricochet's foot hit his face. That's not supposed to happen. It also isn't supposed to happen, like you said, that one guy, even if it's Sheamus, beats two guys. The only reason I will cut it slack is because that's probably what the original ending of the match was supposed to be. I know that they can call audibles. They could have called an audible and had it go Ricochet and Cesaro's way. We've seen them do that before in matches. Why they didn't do that, I don't know. But I think they just chose to keep the match with the ending that was originally supposed to happen. So I'm going to go TV quality. I can't go some bullshit because I thought the work was decent. And I thought, look, on the fly, they had to finish this match. They didn't know Holland was going to get hurt and wouldn't be able to finish. And so at the very last second, they had to still keep going with the match. And I thought, given those circumstances, it was all right. So I'll go TV quality.
Like you said, call an audible. Is it realistic for two guys? Same is strong and everything, but I mean, this made him look like he need to be in the Universal Championship talks if he can beat two people.
Well, you know, we've seen a similar, you know, I remember way back, I don't know if a lot of people remember this, when John Morrison was teamed up with Joey Mercury in a ladder match.
And his face exploded.
Yeah. And I can't remember whether or not Morrison went on to win that match, but in this case, I guess they just felt, let's just keep with the original ending. No need to change anything. Maybe a mistake, but I'm not going to call it bullshit. I will go just TV quality because I thought it was entertaining. And like I said, they had to make that decision at the very last minute. So I'll cut them some slack.
Doc, I know you didn't watch it, so Book, go ahead.
Yeah, come on. This was some bullshit. I mean, seriously, give me a break. I mean, I said after Cesaro lost to Rollins, they're burying him. It's over. It's done. Some of you disagreed with it.
Well, I disagree because I was hoping they wouldn't.
But he has been utterly buried. I didn't think they could bury him any deeper. But somehow Vince McMahon found an extra pound of dirt to just dig out to bury him even deeper. And of course, Ricochet, who practically lives down there. Maybe he pulled him down. Who knows? But seriously, I mean, I get it. It was an accident. It happened. Foot versus face. Face always loses. But just call an audible. You can't have these two guys lose to Sheamus. The only world that's acceptable is if it's somebody like Brock. I get it.
Yeah.
Bobby, I get it. Yeah. Not Sheamus.
Roman.
Yeah. Even with Roman, I could somewhat get it. We'd be starting to get to a push here with Roman, but not Sheamus.
Not Sheamus, no.
It was just disrespectful, and it just further proves that Vince has absolutely no respect for either of those two. And I am begging for them both. I don't know how much time is on those contracts, but they have got to get the hell out of there. It's a bullshit.
While Doc over there posing like a model, we're gonna keep it moving. with the opening match of the card, which was the Usos versus the New Day, as I want to call them, because I gotta say that King Woods entrance and his music is better, damn sure better than the New Day music, and it's better than Big E's music. I mean that
that ain't saying too much.
but it's better.
It is better.
A lot better, actually. And shout out to ATL, man. They was turned up for this match, especially when the Usos came out with the red and the black. I mean, it was hot. It was hot. I gotta say, match started slow. I was not liking this shit at first. I was like, what are they doing? Are they really just is this a slow burn? Or are they just not all in? Or what's going on? But they found a gear and they just turned it and turned it and turned it. And this match, the double frog splash didn't do it. I don't know what that move is New Day does where, like, I think Kofi has one of the Usos bent over and then the Woods
stomp off the top.
Yeah, that didn't do it. The double super kick, Woods broke that up. I'm like, man, what is it gonna take? You know, I predicted Usos to retain, and lo and behold, I'm gonna stick with what it's called because that's what I love what it's called. They hit the freaking 3D and beat the New Day, and I was like, wow, okay. See, I like when they pull out old shit like that. Yeah. I even like the way that how the Usos somewhat move and kind of operate like Roman does a little bit. Not a whole lot. It's just real subtle things that they do. I like that. And I like this new look to the Usos. This match was awesome. This is great. This is a great way to start the show. But you know, I was low on it at first, but they brought me in, they sucked me in. There was a lot of near falls. It was awesome. I gave it pay-per-view worthy. And pay-per-view worthy. Start with you, Doc.
I liked it. Man.
Likey.
Right. I was a little leery at first because, you know, lately, like the previous tag team matches, they've been a little whack. But the new look of the Usos, I lost count of how many sweet chin musics I was gonna see. They was like, I don't know how Xavier got a strong face, bro. He got kicked about 8 times. He was eating them joints. I thought that move you talking about with they hold one the other. Come on, I thought that was up, up, down, down. That's not it. Or was that
no, that's a different one. That's a different one.
Yeah, but I thought it was pay-per-view worthy. It was, to me. Well, I'm not gonna say, but yeah, it was a great match.
Yeah,
great match.
All right, Book.
I actually gave this an instant classic.
Woo!
Oh. I thought this was clearly the best match of the night, without question. Yeah. There's no debating it. It's not even close. They tore the roof off, and I felt bad for everyone that was going to have to wrestle after it because none of them were going to compete. None of them were going to compete with that show. So the show was only going to go down from that match. These are...
I'm mad at you.
And listeners know I hate the New Day. I can't stand them. But this is just talking about the match. This was 4 guys performing that magic in the ring that not a lot of people can perform. These guys know each other very, very well. They know each other's moves, and it doesn't look so choreographed as some matches. People complain that matches can look. This doesn't look choreographed at all. The only complaint I can give is I am starting to get sick of all these super kicks. It is starting to get a bit much.
Because when you're watching WWE and then you go watch AEW, and
it's getting a bit much.
Young Bucks,
and I love the Young Bucks, but even with them, but I don't think even they do it as much as the Usos do. For the Bucks, it's how the match ends. That's how it.
No,
they do it. They do it a lot.
They do
They
it
do it a
lot.
lot. They do it a lot. I do think the Usos do it just a tad more.
Maybe.
But overall, the super kick thing, it's a bit much.
Yeah.
It's becoming the party that has gone on too long, and the police need to be called.
I know Shawn Michaels like, God damn, I used to beat people with this thing.
Yeah. Gentleman Chris Adams used to beat people with that thing. He did it before Shawn. But this was an instant classic. This is the only match really anybody should walk away from remembering is this match. So highest grade I can give it.
Yeah, he said what I was going to say, but I ain't want to show. But to me, I'm with Book. That was the best match of the night. It was. To me, it was the best match.
Well, I'm in agreement, and I went superb on it. And like Big E said, it started slowly, but man, these guys, I never get the impression that when these four are wrestling each other, I never get the impression that they're mailing it in. There's just a chemistry. These guys know each other well. We've seen them wrestle many times, and very rarely has it not been good or even great. And tonight was no difference. And you know, they could have mailed it in because we've seen them go at it so many times, but no, these guys brought it. They stole the show again. And man, I just was really impressed. I was close to instant classic, but I feel really good about superb. It was definitely superb. I would watch this one again. These four are just amazing to watch together. You know, now look, are they the Young Bucks and the Lucha Bros? Well, no, but who is? But look, these four guys, four guys though can bring it. But look, obviously, we're talking the two best tag teams in the world when we're talking Lucha Bros and Young Bucks. But what the Usos have done for the tag team division in WWE, they basically resurrected it.
Yeah.
It was dead until they came along. And then obviously, and I know Book's not a fan, but I think the New Day in their feud with the Usos have also helped to elevate a tag team division, which still needs work, but would be completely dead without these two teams.
Yeah, I was thinking about that when I was watching the show. You got, like, I'm talking organic tag teams. You don't have that many. Street Profits, New Day, Usos.
Do you really put the Street Profits in there?
They're organic. No, I'm saying they're an organic tag team that came from NXT. They were always a tag team.
Okay.
Usos, always a tag team. New Day, they were always a tag team. But you got RK Bro, that's a makeshift. You got all these other people that are just makeshift tag teams. Dolph, what they call themselves? Dolph and
Dirty Dogs.
Yeah.
There it is. Yeah.
Fucking idiots.
New Day wasn't always a tag team.
Yeah.
No, but they were always a group. So it's easy to translate that to a tag team versus
They weren't always a group.
No, I'm just saying but they've been in groups the last eight years.
Well, okay, I'm just saying, but they weren't always a group.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is when you take somebody like a Dolph Ziggler and a Robert Roode and put them together, Randy Orton and
Riddle.
Yeah, him.
I could see why you'd forget.
And put them together. You know, that's not an organic tag team. That's two people you put together. Rhea Ripley and
Black Woman.
Yeah.
Oh man.
That's not organic. That's what I'm saying. So you really realistically you have, if you want to count the Viking Raiders, 4 really strong. Well, the Viking Raiders ain't really strong, but if you want to talk about 4 actual organic male tag teams in WWE, that's all you got. And if you're talking about best tag teams in the world, I would put the Usos in the top 5 for sure, along with Bucks and Lucha Bros. Because Usos, like Rob said, they're immensely talented. They do it all. And Jay proved that not only can he do tag team, he can go in the main event.
Yeah.
That says a lot. But anyway, go from that to Madcap Moss with Baron Corbin versus Drew McIntyre. And the whole time watching this match, all I could think was, why is this match still on? Why are we still doing this? This should have been a Goldberg squash type match. This should have been a Wardlow squash type match. This should have been quick done. Like the bell should have rung. Claymore, let's go. Because the first match we got was like 20, 25 minutes.
Mm.
Why is Drew McIntyre, the guy that beat Brock Lesnar, the guy that faced Roman Reigns, went toe-to-toe with Bobby Lashley, why is he struggling with Madcap Moss? Now, granted, Madcap Moss ain't no small dude. He's a big guy, got a physique on him, and I give him credit. He did catch him in that move and did an overhead fallaway slam. I don't know if that's enough, man. I feel bad for Drew, and I was hoping that this would be it. Like, okay, let's do this little mid-card bullshit for Drew, and then Royal Rumble's coming around. Let's get Drew back in the main event picture. No, they're gonna drag this thing out because later on we saw the backstage promo with, why are they making Drew McIntyre like an idiot? He don't know where the fucking locker room is. Did you show up to the arena in your drawers? Is that what you did? Okay. Anyway, getting long-winded. Just barely got middle of the road because what they did give Madcap Moss, he actually did show potential. And the guy does have a look on him. If he would just get rid of Baron Corbin, I think he could, go on his own and have a decent career. Who knows what he could do? But I'm going to go the lowest of low, middle of the road. Rob, what do you think?
Man, I had to go some bullshit on this one. And not because the wrestling was bad, just this whole just the idea of this match was bad. I mean, McIntyre against Madcap Moss. Did anybody on this podcast, did anybody in the arena, did anybody in the world think that Madcap Moss was going to win this match? No, man, it was just a waste of time. It was a waste of McIntyre's talent. I mean, you talk about how the mighty have fallen and people getting buried. I mean, you got McIntyre who defeated Brock Lesnar just a couple of years ago wrestling against Madcap Moss. It's terrible. Look, Moss, yeah, he's a big, strong dude. He has a look. But this character that he's doing right now has no business even in the ring with the Drew McIntyre. And the whole match was a joke. I agree with Big E. It should have been a squash. It wasn't. So I had to go some bullshit on it because I just couldn't buy Drew McIntyre having a difficult time beating Madcap Moss. So some bullshit from me.
All right, Book. If you wait, hold on. Wait. You need me to do it for you?
You know what? Hold up.
Because I knew. Wait. When the match got made, he was like, "No." All right, hold on, Rob. Hold on. Just for you, Book.
Yep.
I appreciate it.
All right. Oh, okay. All right.
I appreciate y'all. This is the brotherhood in full effect.
Cheers.
It's not a fireball, but it's all I can take. Yeah, come on, folks. Say it with me and say it loud and proud. This was a flaming, worthless, pointless, boring, and monotonous fucking F. I mean, seriously, Drew McIntyre, who beat the Beast Incarnate, who is the biggest deal in wrestling, is now fighting. Let me look this up, make sure I say his name right. Madcap Moss. Did I say that right? Madcap Moss?
Yeah.
Who the fuck are you, dude? I mean, that is, I think Booker T said it at the pre-show. I hate that name. The name is stupid.
Stupid. He did.
It's the stupidest name.
I gotta say, shout out to Booker T. He's
dead on.
he was like a different person on this kickoff. I don't know what was going on with him, but he was letting it loose. He was like, look,
He wasn't wrong.
I'm keeping it real.
He wasn't wrong.
No,
I mean,
man, he was.
That's what I've been thinking. That name is ridiculous. I mean, Drew McIntyre. I'm hoping somehow this leads to something for him decent at Mania, but he's just going to continue this stupid gimmick. He's probably going to face that human diarrhea bag, Happy Corbin. And then probably, I hate to say it, but I could see him at Mania having to face them both in a handicap match.
They can't do that.
I think that match somewhere down the line is going to happen.
Can't do because they've done some dumb ass shit.
Well, yeah, you're right.
They've done some dumb shit.
I mean, hope they don't.
I'm afraid if they're going to do that match, maybe it'll be one of the 2 pay-per-views in between. But God, what are y'all doing to Drew McIntyre? The guy is exactly the kind of wrestler that Vince gets boners off of. He's tremendously athletic, unlike some of those other beasts that you have. He's ripped to the bone. Yeah. The crowd clearly loves him, and you make him face.
You make him look like an idiot. You make him look like a fucking dummy.
Madcap. And the backstage thing.
Yeah.
He didn't even have his sword. So it's like you supposedly love this sword so much.
Talk about that sword.
And this one moment, as soon as I saw he didn't have it, I'm like, oh, you're about to get jumped. You're about to get jumped. And of course he did. This was pointless. I feel so bad for Drew. I don't give a shit about Lump Mad Cat, whatever the hell his stupid name is. And the hell with that diarrhea bag. So this was an F. Worthless.
You can go to the next match because I didn't watch no match with a dude named Ass Cap in it. So
Ass Cap.
That sounds better at least. At least that's funny.
Oh man.
Don't give Vince any ideas.
Yeah, no, please don't.
I mean, at least that's funny. Madcap. What the hell is a madcap? Anyway, what's a madcap? Mad. What's a madcap?
Got RK Bro defending their Raw Tag Team Championships against Street Profits, and we were talking in the chat. I mean, I was confused in this match. Number one, somebody need to tell Vince or Triple H or somebody, whoever, if you're gonna bring out the Migos and you got the Street Profits in the match,
exactly.
That's who they come out with.
That's who they come out with. It didn't make any sense.
You don't bring them out with the white boys, okay?
Riddle got street cred. That's what
not in Atlanta. He don't. And in Atlanta at that, come on, man. That was ass backwards. That's why I kept asking him, like, well, did the Street Profits turn heel? Because they were acting a little heelish in the match. But based on the end, I don't know, that end is a little hokey. The match itself, still a phrase from Mr. Book. It felt like a house show match. You got Migos out there, which I don't have a problem with them being out there. It's Atlanta, it's WWE. They do this thing all the time. But Randy Orton is not being Randy Orton, okay? He is playing to the crowd way more than he normally does. He is playing to the Migos. Everything about this was an afterthought. The only thing that was the two things that was sticking out besides how much Randy Orton was getting a boner from Migos sitting at ringside, because lo and behold, Randy Orton is actually a hip hop head. So
yes, he is.
A lot of people may not know that, but he is a big hip hop
major.
Head. So how did Montez Ford go from having a fade like a month ago to having these slave braids that he got in now? I don't understand.
He's not the slave.
Man, them braids, look, them shit stopped.
I didn't know
right
slaves had braids.
I was waiting. I knew I was gonna be the
No,
Them
man,
shit
yeah.
stopped
They had like
here.
them short nappy afros, but I don't remember no braids.
Listen, I was waiting for one of y'all. Knew it was gonna be Book of Robs.
Look,
I was thinking it. Those must be
But-
the slaves from the east side of
Yeah,
Africa
I mean,
that had the
first of all,
braids.
who was braiding their hair?
each other.
Oh,
Oh.
Anyway,
You're alone on the slave braid one, bro. You're alone on that one.
but the other thing that stood out to me was Montez Ford acting really heelish, like talking crap to the Migos, and he was his facials. He was really aggressive in the match. That's why I kept asking, like, is Street Profits heels now? And I guess
Maybe
not.
this-
I mean, the way the match went, I mean, I guess not, but I could see them. I wouldn't mind. I mean, I guess you couldn't do the whole cup thing if they were heels. Maybe you could. I don't know. I just thought he, in particular, was like more aggressive than normal. The match itself, kind of, like I said, it was a house. It felt like a house show match because I don't recall ever seeing Randy Orton that animated, that excited, which isn't a bad thing, so to speak. But I don't know. I did like the finish of the match. The finish of the match with Riddle picking up Montez and then Randy hitting the RKO. That was pretty cool. I mean, we've seen better RKOs, but something was just missing. I just feel like it was a house show match. I've been to a house show. I feel like they were just, I was waiting for them to walk around the ring, taking selfies. Get the fucking Migos getting on the ropes, flexing and shit. And I'm like, you ain't in the match. TV quality. Whatever. Doc, go ahead.
TV quality. I just like the alley oop RKO at the end. That was decent. Other than that, it's one of those matches you'd be like, we could have did that on Raw. So I was hyped those though. I thought things could perform, but yeah, it wasn't worth day one. They could have saved that.
Go ahead, Book.
Okay. I gave it TV quality. I've been the only one who seems to root for RK Bro. And that's fine. I will live with that. As far as Randy Orton, I just think he wants to have some fun. He's had a long career and he has been tremendously serious during his WWE reign. He's just been this ultra serious guy who just does not crack a lot of smiles. I think he just wants to have a little fun for a while.
I get that.
And I think, and I know people think it's goofy, but I just think he wants to have some fun. And at this point, I think he's earned the right to have a little bit of fun. So let him have his fun. It's obviously not going to last much longer. They're going to break up. Randy will end it as a heel, as everybody knows him to be. But I just think he wants to have a little bit of fun before he gets back to that. As far as what you said about those rappers who I had never heard of before this show. And people were saying, this is one of the greatest rap groups of all time. I'm like, really? I've never even heard of these motherfuckers. They made it sound like NWA was coming out there.
Let me just say, I mean, like I said, they're not exactly my cup of tea, and they may not be a lot of other people's cup of tea, but you can't dispute their record sales. And Doc, you might be able to confirm it or not. I think they've won a Grammy.
Yes.
Grammys. Yeah. So they legit.
So's 3-6 Mafia.
Yes,
They
sir.
won.
So's 3-6 Mafia.
Right. I'm just saying they're the 3-6 Mafia for the.
So did Vanilla Ice.
The kids these days this is their 3-6 Mafia. That's all I'm saying. I said they're not my cup of tea. But They've been on every number one on Billboard charts for all this time, and especially in Atlanta is where they're from. So
Yeah, this
no
was
problem.
TV quality, barely.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave the whole Migos thing alone. I'm older than y'all, and I hate all of the shit y'all listen to. I hate every bit of it. It all sucks, and I'll leave that there. As far as the match, I mean, look, I've been critical of Riddle, but I don't hate Riddle. Riddle can go. The character is kind of funny, and look, we all know Randy is a legend. He's a future Hall of Famer, legacy solidified. And I remember watching him on Stone Cold's Broken Skull sessions, and he says, look, I'm at the point in my career where I just want to kind of get the young guys over. And I like that about Randy, because we know Randy's had kind of a rocky road in WWE, but he realizes that his role right now, for the most part, is look, let's get Riddle over and let's get some of these younger guys over. And that's just kind of a rite of passage you should do as a wrestler. Eventually you get to that point in your career. And so I like what he's done with Riddle. Look, whether I like him or not, it really doesn't matter. They're over with the crowd, right? The crowd pops for him. But I am waiting for the day, just like Book said, we all know it's coming.
Mm-hmm.
When Orton finally just says, I'm sick of this bullshit, and I'm just going to RKO your ass, and then it's going to lead to a match, a program between him and Riddle. That's what I'm waiting for. I thought we might get it tonight. We didn't. But the match itself, I think it was like you said, Doc. It's something that we would see on Raw. I didn't think anything special about it. So I'm going to go TV quality. That's as high as I can go. Nothing special. Something we'd see on Raw, just any Monday night.
We're all in agreement. Apparently, we're all in agreement. That does not happen often. We all get to match the same grade. So I'm curious what everybody graded this one. Got the rated R superstar versus the Miz. Now, I talked about this on the prediction show. I don't know where the hell they came up with this. This feud just dropped out of nowhere. Somebody pulled this out their ass. But looking at the video package and looking at all the stuff, I'm like, okay, all right, well, whatever. If Edge is going to be around more, at least more until WrestleMania, then this kind of works. It just gives him something to do. We get to see Edge, no problem. I've enjoyed Edge since he's come back, no problem. Obviously, myself and Book thoroughly enjoyed the entrance because I don't care how many times they do it. They can do it to death. I don't care. I'll pop every single time. I didn't know they were going to do it, but when the lights went out, I was like, "Oh shit, yeah, let's go." Love that brood shit, man. I kind of had they did the brood bath on the Raw, so I kind of had a feeling, but wasn't sure. But yeah, love that. The match itself, I want to make this clear. I don't shit on Miz on purpose, but the guy just he's all pop and circumstance. He's glitz and glamour. He's got the look. He can talk on the mic. He can work the mic. I'll give him that. He got a look. His wife is gorgeous. I'll give him that. But the guy can't wrestle for shit as far as I'm concerned. Okay, he can't. I'm sorry, Book. He can't wrestle. All right, let's just get it out the way. He can't wrestle. And you got Edge in there trying his damnedest to make this match look good, and it ain't happening. The fact that Maurice interfering was the most intriguing part of the match, and then having Edge's wife come out, Beth Phoenix, which this is, again, he can act. I'll give Miz that. He can act because he sold the shit out of seeing Beth Phoenix at the top rope. He's like, I enjoy it. It was kind of subtle. It wasn't over the top. I liked it. But this was kind of predictable too. Edge getting the win. I will still give it pay-per-view worthy just because I felt like all the pieces were in place. I feel like the way they built up to the match was good. And Edge, I mean, it's Edge. I mean, he'd have to really shit the bed to not get pay-per-view worthy. And I like the dynamic with Beth Phoenix coming out. I don't think she need to come out and look so hard. I mean, she, I almost see the steam coming out of her nose. We ain't need all that, but and I gotta say too, what's his name? Y'all know I don't like him. The announcer.
Cool.
Yeah,
Cole?
he ain't shit. No, Corey Graves. He ain't shit. 'Cause, I caught this. I don't know if y'all heard what he said about Beth Phoenix, but I caught it. He was like, I don't know if it's exactly what I would call beauty, but yeah.
Say that about Beth Phoenix?
Yeah, go back and watch it. Dead serious. He said it. I was like,
Oh.
really? You gonna say that with Edge out there?
Hey.
Okay. He put them hands on you when they get backstage.
I was gonna say, man, when Edge hears that one back there might be
Some
there
furniture
might be some
moving right
payback
there.
on that.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna get pay-per-view worthy. Low, but it's there. Rob, what'd you think?
No, man, not pay-per-view worthy for me. This was barely TV quality for me. Look, I like The Miz, and he's a future Hall of Famer. And look, I feel bad though. I just think we talk about booking. What WWE has done with The Miz, we saw what happened at WrestleMania. And coming into this match, did anybody think The Miz was going to win? WWE is basically making Miz a glorified jobber. And it's not The Miz's fault. Is he the greatest wrestler? No. But is he a good personality? Yeah. And does he deserve better? Yeah, he does. He's been grinding in this company for years. But man, they continually put him in situations where he just looks like a goofball and a loser. And that's what they did tonight. I had no doubt in my mind that Edge was going to win this match. On Monday, they had Miz and Maurice renewing their vows, and they got a brood bath, which I thought was cool, but just another way to make the Miz look like a goofball. It just seems disrespectful to me what WWE is doing with the Miz. They're not doing anything with him. They continually put him in situations where he just looks bad. And so that's what happened tonight. I didn't think the match was very good. And Big E, I agree a little bit. I don't think the Miz is the greatest wrestler. And but I think tonight he just didn't mix well with Edge. The match didn't flow, and they just didn't work well together. It was nice to see Beth Phoenix come out, but man, I did not enjoy it. It wasn't good, and I feel bad for the Miz. I kind of wonder why he stays on their payroll. I mean, he does have his own TV show, and maybe he just feels like, look, man, I've got a couple of kids, I got a wife, and I got to pay some bills. And I understand all that. They could make me look, man, if WWE tells me they're going to give me a 6-figure salary and I got to look like a dumbass, I'm taking that paycheck. I'm gonna look like I'm gonna be the best dumbass they've ever had.
I was gonna say, you wonder why he on their payroll.
Right. So
he
I
on their
get
payroll.
it. I get it, but I just feel bad for the Miz because he really has been grinding for this company for a long time, but they don't appreciate him. They just continually make him look like a dumbass.
Before you go, Book, like Ed said, my man got a mansion in the Hollywood Hills. He's on Dancing with the Stars. He's been in, I don't care how shitty they are, he's been in a bunch of movies. And, he's been in matches with The Rock. He's been in matches with John Cena. He's been in matches with all the top names. I don't feel bad for him whatsoever. Shit. Call I just said he could. Look, hey, my man got money. He got that woman, and he got beautiful babies, and he got a TV show. I don't feel bad for him.
Yeah.
No. Go ahead, Book.
I gave it pay-per-view worthy. Not kind of mid to low pay-per-view worthy. I actually picked the Miz to win because I was thinking story. It would be a shock that Miz wins, and it could be something you could carry this story a little bit. the shock of it. In the end, Edge would win it all anyway, but it would be the shock of it. And they could still go that route, but that would mean they'd have to face each other again. Miz wins that one. Although I think they're working toward a mixed tag. I think that's what they're working toward. I think that's why you saw Beth. I think that's the hint. It's probably going to be a mixed tag.
Yeah, probably get that at the Rumble.
The Rumble, yeah. Or somehow they try to drag that thing out to Mania for some reason. As far as your speech on the Miz, Rob, he's been made a clown, and it pisses me off every single time. How is he supposed to be a credible heel if he keeps losing? He's basically is a jobber. He's right there with Cesaro and Ricochet in the jobber core of the WWE. You know he's going to lose. Even though I picked him, I was picking him because of the story. It would be better for the story to have the Miz win. Plus, after the year he just went through, I was like, can you throw him a bone here a little bit? I mean, you've made him you've made him, I'll dance for you. I mean, that's kind of what you made him do all year. So
yeah, man, wearing bunny costumes and shit. I mean,
can you throw him a bone a little bit here? Give the guy a win here. It'd be a big win. It'd be a shocker win. But no, they continue to make him dance around like an idiot. So it was pay-per-view worthy, but Miz ain't going nowhere. I just wish they'd do better by him. But he clearly doesn't care. He's going to make that bank, and I can't blame him. I can't blame him for it. I'm just speaking as a fan that I would like to see you do better for yourself.
So my original grade is like trash. Is that a?
No, we don't have that on here.
I'm gonna say some smart for the show. I'm gonna go TV worthy. Only the fact because Maurice looked good in that outfit.
Maurice, not Maurice. God damn it!
and look, it's a nitpicky thing, but I think it's TV quality. And then there's pay-per-view worthy.
Yeah.
But we knew what you meant, though.
She looked amazing. Like the whole intro. I'll just don't be an a-hole. Rob, hey, look, like Rob said, y'all knew what I meant, though. I see, you know what, guys? I'm sorry. You guys put me on here to poke fun at me.
No, hey, Doc. Now we love you, Doc. You know that. Don't even try it. You know we love you, Doc.
She was great to look at. Now look, Book, don't laugh too hard because I don't want you to have no problems.
Oh shit!
She was nice to look at, man. TV. Yeah,
TV quality.
Yeah, TV quality.
Okay.
I think I just lost 5 pounds just from laughing. Oh, jeez, dude, really?
Oh shit!
The match was horrible though. I did the brood into the rated R superstar thing intro, but yeah, it was that.
Oh my god!
You got your
blooper. Bring it in, sir. Bring it in here. Oh shit! Oh, that fucking
you need to call Vince, Doc, because Madcap Moss could use your material because his is horrific.
It's ASCAP Moss. I think that's what Doc called it.
Yeah.
Yes.
ASCAP.
And probably more appropriate.
Yeah.
ASCAP and human diarrhea bag.
I like that one though. The human diarrhea bag.
We're gonna have to make a compilation of Doc-isms for a try to laugh because I ain't gonna make it.
Yeah, there's your try not to laugh right there.
Yeah, his ass. Whew, shit, that hurt. All right.
Well, look, the funny part is this is how, like, when we're on the phone, this is how it is. Eric wait, because he don't want to say something. But he know what I'm talking about.
No. Well, don't try to lie on me. It's gonna come regardless. Okay. Pause. The Raw Women's Championship match. Liv Morgan versus Becky Lynch. Now, I said on the prediction show, and I stand by what I said, because we're talking wrestling here. You gotta heel Becky Lynch. Big time Bex. It's fine. She's been winning since SummerSlam, which was August. And you got Charlotte, who's a big time heel. You got Sasha, who's a heel. Yeah, they're on SmackDown. But then you got Rhea, who's, I don't know what the fuck she is. And the point I'm making is you need a baby face for this heel. And the only way you make a strong baby face is that baby face has to win. I don't care what they feel. Obviously, you're putting Liv in this match up against Becky twice because you believe in her. And I felt like, was this match as a whole, was it flawless? No. Were there missteps? Yes. Mm-hmm. But I strongly felt like Liv Morgan went out there and tried her hardest. She was pulling out everything she could. She did everything she could in this match. I've never seen her work this hard in a match ever. And for her still not to get the win, I think everybody's just kind of like, why do y'all have this boner for Becky so hard? Like, she's just, and she barely beat Liv. I said this before, the only person that, and this wasn't a bad match, but the person that brings it really out of Becky is Charlotte. Outside of that, she's not some person that has these 5-star matches versus Charlotte, who can go out and it almost doesn't matter who Charlotte wrestles. She can put on a 5-star match. You can say the same thing about Asuka sometimes. You can say the same thing, almost, not quite, but I would put maybe Sasha third.
Over Bayley?
Bayley.
Well, the only reason I didn't say Bayley because she's kind of out of sight, out of mind kind of thing.
Not much longer.
Not much longer, but it's just out of sight, out of mind type of deal. I'm just dealing with it now. And right now, Bayley is going to come back still a heel. You need a strong baby face. And this is the one you got. They botched whatever they had with Rhea. They botched whatever they had with Nikki Cross. So, okay, we got a new one. Liv Morgan, very organic baby face. The crowd's behind her. They believe in her story, and you still won't put her over. It's not going to drop Becky down a fucking notch. It's not. This pisses me off. Like, legitimately made me upset that she lost because she should have won. But because Liv Morgan went out there and tried her damnedest, I'm going to respect that fact and still give her, and Becky was a professional. She did all the stuff Becky Lynch. She didn't phone it in. There was a few missteps, but I still think this was a pay-per-view worthy match for me. I'm still very angry that it didn't go the way it should have gone. Say what you want. It should have gone that way because you think about all the feuds that they've had over the years, Rock Austin, Randy Orton, John Cena, Triple H, Mankind, Triple H, Rock. What happened? They had to exchange wins and losses. At some point, they had to exchange them. When you have this one person always winning, it's not interesting. It's not. So I'm just really, really, really mad about this. And I feel like they dropped the fucking ball big time. And you had a chance. And You had a chance to make a new superstar. And this is the point I make all the time. You had a chance and you didn't do it. Whatever. Doc, go ahead.
I gave it it's raw face me. Pay-per-view worthy. There we go. I was gonna say pay-per-view quality. Pay-per-view worthy. Just off like what you were saying. Liv. They had a couple of miscues, like the drop kick. She didn't hit her, but she still fell off the second.
She hit it. It was a glancing blow.
Yeah, but it was she actually made Becky look good. I mean, not Becky. The woman. That was Becky, right? Yeah, she made Becky look good.
My God.
So, I mean, hey, cup ain't empty.
God damn, man. What were you watching?
What's in that cup? That's what I want to know.
That's some kind of Tennessee, Kentucky.
Stop drinking when you watch these shows, okay?
But yeah,
You gotta drink when you watch these shows.
You do. She made Becky look good though, and it's supposed to be the other way around. She gave everything, and yeah, pay-per-view that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Book, please. For this nigga get to talking some more.
Oh dear God. All right. This match was it was some bullshit. This was some bullshit. And here's why it was bullshit. There was no point that I even remotely thought Liv was going to win this match. Not remotely. I'm sorry, Eric. She's not there yet. She is not there yet. She has moments where she does look good. And then she has moments like that. She's just not ready for that belt. We have seen what happens when people who are not ready get the strap. She's not. It would be worse than what happened to Rhea, than what happened to Belair. It would be worse. Liv is not ready to carry that belt yet. She can be. There's hope there. I mean, a few years ago, I wouldn't have even said that. She shows moments like I don't know how to describe it, but when Becky was sitting on the top, when she kind of flipped in the air and did that power bomb, that was nice.
Oh, yeah, that was dope.
That she hit it, and she hit it perfectly.
Perfect. Yeah.
She has those moments, but then she has moments where she's executing moves extremely bad. You can see her timing is terrible. And I think it would be a crime to her to put the strap on there because she's just not ready for it. So for me, this match was pointless because I knew that Becky Lynch was going to win. There's no way Liv was going to win this. Down the line, that can change. But tonight, hell no. So this was some bullshit just because it was a waste of time.
Yeah, for me, this is tough, man, because on the prediction show, I said, I like Liv, but I just don't see champion in her. And the crying has to stop. She has to quit the crying all the time, whether it's a promo, whether it's during a match. I mean, come on, you're in the big time. Quit the crying. It's weak. But did she wrestle? She wrestled well tonight, I thought. I thought she did well while she was in the ring. But I think WWE really needs to be careful about who they're putting the strap on. You know, look, obviously Becky, look, she's only had it since August after being gone a while. That's only a few months. And she's Becky. She's Becky Lynch, okay? You know, she was part of the first women's headlining WrestleMania match. And I didn't like how they did it with her and Bianca. To me, Bianca should still be the champion. But when you look at who else is on the roster, okay, Rhea Ripley. Now, to me, she deserves another run as champion before Liv does. Bianca deserves another run at champion before Liv does. But WWE, look, Nikki ASH was a champion. You have to quit lowering the title. You have to put the strap on people who really, really deserve it. And I agree with Book. I just don't think Liv is there yet. Of course, the fans are going to root for her. She's the face and Becky's the heel. Fans are always going to, in most cases, they're going to root for the face. But I just don't think she's a worthy champion right now. I think Becky is more worthy than her to be champion, even though she's a heel. And if you look at Raw, Becky is a heel champion, but I don't want to say too much, but Big E is a face champion. Damian Priest is a face champion, although they seem to be kind of dancing around with him. But on Raw, all of them are face champions, except for Becky. She's the only heel champion. So I could see why maybe they didn't want to go Liv's way.
Well, Charlotte's a heel champion.
She's on SmackDown.
She's on SmackDown, though.
But you got 2 heel champions.
He's talking about Raw,
right?
though.
Well, yeah, you do. You got 2 heel champions, and then you've got Shinsuke. So yeah, you're right. So yeah, but what I'm saying is that Becky is on Raw. She's the only heel champion on Raw right now.
No.
So it's
Well,
just, and to me, if Becky's gonna lose, look, you have to raise the legitimacy of these titles. Have Becky lose to Rhea, have her lose to Bianca. If we're talking the women on Raw, those to me are the 2 women worthy, even though they've already had championship runs, then neither one of them to me got done justice. Those are the ladies who should beat Becky. To me, Liv is on her way, and I like Liv, but I don't see a champion in her right now. Now, I don't think I've rated the match. I still gave it pay-per-view worthy because I thought Liv really brought it. I didn't think Becky had her best performance tonight. I thought that Liv really was the better performer in this match. But once again, I think the right person won, though.
Well, I will gladly disagree with both of you. I think she needs to be it because, and here's why. There's been times throughout wrestling history where people that weren't quite ready yet won the championship. And how do you get ready other than throwing your ass to the wolves? Let me see what you got. Because you might actually be ready, and you just need me to throw you a bone. How am I gonna know? To me, it's no different than going for a job application. You need to have experience. How the fuck do I get experience if I don't get a job in this field to get the experience?
I'm sorry. I wouldn't want her representing my brand as the women's champion. I'm sorry. I just wouldn't. I'm not saying she can't reach that level in the future, but she's just not there. She doesn't, at this stage right now, she doesn't even deserve to beat Becky Lynch. I'm sorry.
We're not going to use the word deserve because we don't agree on that. But I will say, I'll respect your opinion that you don't think she's quite there yet. I'll take that. I think she might, and she might not be. My point is, you have to go out on a limb sometimes, and you have to have these shocking moments sometimes in order to give somebody. You have to create new stars. Because what happens if Becky Lynch catches COVID? Then what?
You still have Rhea Ripley on the roster.
They haven't done
Bianca Belair. You still have wrestlers better than Liv on the roster.
Yeah. There's other wrestlers you put up there before
the people
her.
You're naming were not on the card.
No, they weren't on the card, but they're still on the roster.
They're still on the roster, but I'm talking about people that were either on the card, they're in the feud. You need to create more stars, Rob. We talk about this all the time. Create more stars. You had a chance to create a star. You didn't do it.
To me, you don't necessarily create a star by making him a champion. To me, you should be a star before you're a champion. That's how it used to be back in the day. You won the championship when you were over and when you reached a level where the fans really wanted you to be champion. You weren't. They didn't make you a star by making you a champion. You were a star before you became champion.
No, because was The Rock a household name the first time he won the belt? No. Was Stone Cold Steve Austin a household name the first time? Household name.
Whoa.
Household name, I'm saying. No, they were not.
I think Doc just gave you his cup.
Okay. Now, wait a minute. Now, were they look, I see what I think I see what you're saying. Were they household names? Probably
No.
not, but were they worthy of the spot of
Hell
being
yes.
champions?
Yeah.
Yes, but I don't think Liv is worthy. I think
Okay,
that most
and
people,
that
most
part
people,
is debatable, but y'all are saying it at least it sounds like you're saying like you got to be a household name before you can get the belt, and that ain't never gonna happen.
No,
Nobody's
I'm
gonna
not
win a
saying-
championship at that point.
I guess what this, just to simplify it, not to belabor the point, I just feel like there are women on the Raw roster more worthy than Liv. That's all. Rhea Ripley,
And
Bianca
that's
Belair.
fine. But
Those
I would
Liv-
rather
Liv
see,
And
Morgan-
and we still don't know what's going to happen with Bailey when she comes back.
I would
Right.
rather
There
see
are
Liv
women.
Morgan
There
take
are
on
women
her.
more deserving to actually carry that
Yeah.
strap. Liv's just
But-
not there yet.
But just because somebody wins the belt, they're not gonna have it for fucking eternity. Okay, you're gonna drop it eventually.
Well, that
She
just
could
makes it
drop
worthless.
She could drop it to Rhea. She could drop it to Bianca. I would rather see that than this continuation of Becky just facing people and beating them, because that's fucking boring.
But it's only been like 5 months
hasn't been
since
that
she's
long.
back, Eric.
And
It hasn't
She
been
before
came back
that,
in late August.
but
It's been like
before
4
that,
months.
she was champion for a whole year.
But she hasn't been a champion though for like a year and a half. It's only been like
She
4 or
got
5
pregnant.
months.
It's
been 4 or 5 months.
That's the only reason.
I think there's somebody else out there who's held the belt a little bit longer.
My thing is, I don't buy her as unbeatable. Period. Her
Well, I'm
gimmick.
not saying. Look, I'm
her
not saying
gimmick
she's
is
unbeatable.
her gimmick is bigger than her in ring. Period.
But look, I don't buy her as unbeatable, but it's
Yeah,
not like
that's how they book
she's
her.
only been back 4 months. How many different opponents has she even had in 4 or 5 months? Not that many.
But why does she have to have the title this long? Like she
That's
beat
not-
Bianca.
It hasn't been
She
long.
beat the Bianca disrespectfully in 10 seconds.
This is look, and this is, I guess maybe it's a generational thing. A 4 or 5 month title reign from that's not a long title reign to
Not
me.
at all. It's a hiccup.
You know,
Right.
if
But during your reign, when you beat certain, and this is WWE's fault because they put certain people in matches they probably shouldn't. You beat somebody over and over. This is the case of Bray Wyatt. Same thing happened to him. You beat somebody over and over again because you put them up against the top dog and they keep getting beat. And then now the crowd's like, well, I guess you're not all that, but you really are. But because you've been losing, we don't think you're all that anymore. That's what happened to Bray Wyatt. That's why he had to come up with the Fiend. If they would just gave Bray Wyatt some fucking wins against John Cena, we would never had a problem. This is the same shit.
Well, who has
It's
she
just
beat?
different
I mean,
people.
she's beat Bianca, freaking Liv a couple of times, Charlotte.
She beat Charlotte. She's beating Charlotte every single time. And y'all should be the ones that's mad about it because y'all
No,
say Charlotte's the best.
no,
one in the-
here's
No,
why we're not mad about it.
That's
No,
that's
not at all.
going.
No, here's why we're not mad about it. It's
Not at
because
all.
even though I do believe Charlotte is the best wrestler going right now, losing to Becky, I don't think it's outrageous. Now,
Not one bit.
but to me, it would be outrageous if Becky beats Charlotte but loses to Liv Morgan.
There you
That,
go.
To me, is ridiculous.
There you go.
So you can't ever get caught off guard. Like in UFC, even nobody's ever been caught off guard. by
UFC's
somebody. No. People have been caught off guard in a match. They came in cocky or they weren't prepared for a certain type of dynamic that a fighter had.
a little bit of a different world, UFC.
It doesn't. No, it's not. It is a different world, but it's the same concept. You were caught off guard by a kick or a submission hold that you weren't ready for, and you lost. Same shit can happen over here because this is scripted. We got more room to work with. Is what
Liv
I'm saying.
just isn't ready for it.
So
bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna use, and I hate to do this because we're so critical of this dude, Vince McMahon. I'm just gonna use a quote. I don't see money in Liv.
There you go.
If you book Becky at a show, people are gonna come to see Becky. She's big time Bex. If you book Liv at that same show, they're not going to come just to see her. I mean, she has to have a big name opponent. They're not going to come just to see Liv. They'll come to see Becky wrestle anybody. They're not going to come to see Liv wrestle just anybody. And that to me is the difference. That's how you know you're really over, is if fans will show up just to see you. It doesn't matter who you're wrestling. They'll come just to see you.
okay, but there was a point in time where Becky Lynch was Liv Morgan. Let's not forget.
Yes, but like you said, eventually, look, man, Becky had some magical moments.
How did Becky Lynch get to where she is? She had to
You know
beat
what?
somebody.
You know what, Eric? It happened, like you said, it happened organically. The moment she took that inadvertent punch to the face from Nia Jax.
Before that.
It was before that.
It started before that. It started before that.
She beat Charlotte. That's how she got it.
She went heel on Charlotte, and the crowd loved it.
Yes,
and they just would not boo her from that moment on.
They did, but then there was that moment that like I said, that was just organic. With Nia Jax.
The thing you're referring to was her Stone Cold Steve Austin moment. That was her flowers.
It's different.
But she was already a crowd favorite before that.
The reactions that Becky was getting then and that Liv is getting, you can't even put them in the same category.
I'm not.
Completely different. It's different with Becky with what was happening.
Right.
With Rob said, it was so completely organically made. It's just not the same.
All I'm saying is you can't create anybody new or get the crowd to get behind anybody new if all they do is lose. That's the big picture takeaway of what I'm saying.
Right. But I guess my thing is, to me,
ready or not, I don't care if they're ready or not. You got to have them win or there ain't shit.
But
use Bray Wyatt.
I guess my thing is how I see it differently is that it's not WWE can book you properly and put you in a position to win, right? But it's the character you create and it's the performance you have in the ring that eventually gets you over. If WWE could just create stars, do you think they wouldn't do that? What I think is a lot of times these things just happen organically. It doesn't happen because, look, the company puts you in the right position, but then you have to do the rest. And I'm not saying Liv hasn't done her part. I guess what I feel is that she's done great. And like I said, I could do without the crying. I am so sick of seeing her cry at every promo and during every match, man. That's Eric. Come on, that gets old, man.
No, it doesn't get old. It is old.
You can't do that.
But it's like, okay, so she goes, and this is I could throw Cesaro in there too. He loses. She's gonna keep losing, and she's gonna go right back down the card, and you're gonna have nobody for Becky that's interesting to face. Oh yeah, Becky versus Rhea, because Rhea hasn't done shit lately.
I'd still buy that before I'd buy that. Becky versus Liv. I'd still buy that before Liv.
There's more money there than Liv. I'm sorry.
People like lined up. Otherwise, what's the point? You just got a bunch of people that are gonna just you got people for this role. You got your Dana Brooks.
Oh man,
no. I'm saying the people that job out. She's a jobber. You got your Dana Brooks that are gonna get job out. You got, you used to have Nia, she's gone. You've got she's pregnant too. So just had a baby. She's gone too.
I know who you mean. Lacey Evans.
Lacey Evans. She's gone too. So I mean, the point I'm making is there are women that they have for that spot, but when you're telling me you're gonna give Liv Morgan a title shot on Raw, and then you're gonna get follow-up rematch on pay-per-view. You're telling me you believe in her, but you really don't. And I'm saying you've done this with other people in the past, and I don't want them to do this anymore. Because they did it to Bray Wyatt, they did it to Cesaro, the list goes on. Even though Kevin Owens was a champion, who really believed that he was gonna win tonight? His name didn't come up one time.
Yeah. Everybody can't be a champion. Everybody's role is not to be a champion. Everybody who wrestles can't be a champion. Sometimes your role is just to be a contender.
Okay, well then I don't want to hear nobody complaining about where ain't no new stars in WWE, because this is why. Because we're gonna do rinse, repeat, same shit.
Well, you have to earn you have to earn.
You can't earn.
They don't hand them out. You earn it.
They do hand them out.
No, they don't. You earn that star. You earn it. You get over with the crowd with your promos. And a lot of times it doesn't even have to do with your in-ring. But if you engage the crowd, You
know what kills
engage
that
the
argument?
crowd. Yeah, you don't hand out stars. They get earned. Big E, come on now.
No, you know what kills that argument? The fact that CM Punk had to leave the company for them to put Daniel Bryan over. Because other than that, they were not going to give Daniel Bryan that title shot at WrestleMania 34. That
I'm
was
not
not
sure
going to
about
happen.
that. I'm not
30.
sure about that.
They weren't. No,
That's-
that was not going to happen.
Yeah, I
No.
don't know.
That was
No.
not going to happen.
I think they look. I think one thing about Daniel Bryan is he's an example of look. They finally had to let Daniel get over because the crowd was so behind him, it was undeniable. And that's how the business used to work. When the crowd was so behind you and they saw money in you, they said, well, this guy deserves the strap. Now people just want anybody to get the strap. It doesn't matter whether okay, look, obviously Liv is the face, the crowd's going to be behind her. But is she so over that she's championship worthy? To me, no. But I guess to you, yes. And so look, we have there's no right or wrong. I'm not right and you're not wrong, or vice versa. But I never saw championship in Liv. And especially look, we've got the Rumble coming up. And I'm hoping, look, what if Asuka comes back? What if Bayley comes back? Are you telling me that they're not more worthy of a championship? Would you be more excited about seeing Becky versus Bayley or Becky versus Asuka than Becky versus Liv?
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you need to continue to build up stars. And there's nothing. When Sheamus beat John Cena for the WWE Championship, who the fuck saw that coming? Because that dude hadn't even been with the company for a year yet. And he beat John Cena for the WWE Championship. Come on now. And that kept him at a certain level. And that's all I'm saying. If she was to win it, I don't care if she dropped it at the Rumble. She just needs to win it to get her up here. She's down here. I'm trying to get her up here and keep her up here. She defied the Riot Squad. She defied the other two getting cut. She's the only one left. And they've been pushing her. So give her a win. If it book it as a fluke, book it however as you want. But at least put her up there to say, we at least see you as down the line having a longer title reign. But let's at least get you, tell our audience, this is where we see you, like legitimately see you. Because you can put anybody in a title match.
But I think they've done that by putting her in these two matches. But she's just not there yet.
Yeah.
She's just not there yet.
I've said my piece, so I know we have one more match to do. I've said my piece, so if you two have more comments, you go ahead. I've said my piece, and I'll
No.
I just have one final thing to say based off Becky's clothing there, calling herself the GOAT there. Yeah, come on. Right.
Well,
there.
it's heel shit. It's heel shit. I'm okay with it.
I know it's heel shit, but I'm still gonna throw that out there.
And I've never said that Charlotte is the GOAT. I want to make that clear. I've said I think she's the best wrestler going today. GOAT means greatest of all time. I've never said Charlotte is the greatest of all time.
Well, that's up for debate, but I don't even know who I would put in that category, to be honest with you. But as you said, we do have one last match, the main event, the fatal 5-way now. It was a 4. But like I said at the top of the show, due to Roman Reigns getting COVID, we had a addition of Brock Lesnar to this match. Big E defending his WWE Championship against Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, badass Bobby Lashley, and the Beast Brock Lesnar. And everybody said that no matter what, Big E's gonna walk out, except this guy. I said it.
You. So, no. I'm with the brothers. I support the brothers. Yeah. Big E's gonna. You even call yourself the real Big E?
Wait a minute. Let me explain. I said, and you can check on here. because I said it. I said Vince McMahon put Brock Lesnar in the match. He's gonna win, and that's what the fuck happened. I said I didn't want it to happen. I said I wanted Big E to win. I said that, but I knew in here and up here that was not what was gonna happen. You don't bring Brock Lesnar back to the company for him to lose this many times. And I'm going to echo, I also said that he was going to beat Roman Reigns. So no matter what, he was going to walk out a champion tonight. This match was fast-paced, intense. The physicality was there. Rob, it's coming. We almost there. We're almost there. We're gonna get Lashley and Lesnar. That's next. That's gotta be.
Oh, come on! How can you not be excited about that?
Simple. I'm not excited about that.
Well, whatever. The match was great. I thought that everybody got some shine in the match. I thought that Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens were great as a duo, trying to take over the match. The table spot was a little off with Big E and Lashley. They could have done that a little better, but it still had the effect. The crowd popped for it. Cool. That spear to the barricade, awesome. Suplex City, he had that. And man, Brock F5 and everybody. I thought, for a split second, I thought Lashley had his ass with that spear. It was that close. But not to be. And then Big E, sorry, man. At least you last longer than Kofi. That's all I can tell you. He got that F5, and it was over with. And your new WWE champion is this guy. I told y'all that's how Vince thinks. If he's going to throw that man in the match, he's going to win. I also said that, hey, you noticed that Big E didn't come out last and he's the champion?
Oh, I already knew that was. Look, man, if Brock's on the card, he comes out last.
Yeah, plus look at the match card. Who was in the middle?
I don't care.
Brock.
I don't care. Who has the belt comes out last.
Not in WWE.
Not in WWE.
That's how it should be.
Right, I agree, but that's not how it goes, though. That's not how they do.
Especially, okay, either you come out first or come out last, but don't come out fourth. That's fucking stupid.
That's the WWE. That's what they do.
Again, which is why I said, and they all say Big E. I said, yeah, any other time, if Brock was not in the match, it would have been Big E, most likely. But I guarantee you, they called an audible at the last minute. Vince called him over to the desk, said, hey, sorry, you want to take this L, and we'll make you champion again one day, but it's it for you. It was great, pay-per-view worthy. I will say, I'll agree with y'all that the first match, Usos, New Day, was the best match on the card, but this is the runner-up because it was just non-stop action, start to finish. I know that's not your cup of tea book, but it's fine. I like big guys throwing around other big guys and tearing shit up. And that's what I got. And the thing about it, what I noticed, that Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley made everybody else in the match look really small. Like, really small. You think he made Big E look small. And his name is Big E. So yeah, pay-per-view worthy for me. And I'll pass it to you, Ambassador Sir.
Well, I'm gonna go high pay-per-view worthy. This flirted with superb for me. I wish it would have been a little longer, but there were some good spots in this match. And I mean, man, there was carnage. I mean, we saw table spots and we saw spear. I mean, we saw, like you said, big guy moves, which typically isn't my thing. But in this case, with these competitors, I think it was appropriate. And given the fact that, keeping in mind, this match was made probably just a few hours ago, these guys had to improvise and say how, and this wasn't the match we thought it was going to be. How are we going to do it here? how's it going to flow? And I thought that they made it work. I had said that in the group chat on our prediction show, I predicted Big E to retain before we knew Brock was going to be in the match. Even with Brock in the match, I said, well, I still think Big E will win, but I'm less confident. I thought Big E would win because I thought that they really wanted to keep Brock chasing Roman. Well, now Brock is a champion and Roman is a champion. Now, can you still have him chase Roman? Yeah, but a chase works better when one of you is the champion and one of you is the challenger. So now where is this all going to go? Maybe we just get Lashley versus Brock now, which I'd be fine with. But that is why I thought that Big E would still retain. I did not like Big E eating the pin. You could have had Owens eat the pin. He's probably the least significant wrestler in the match, even though, and that's no disrespect to Owens. I'm just saying, why have Big E eat the pin?
Go out on your sword.
I don't know. I didn't like it because if you're Big E, I guess you could still come back and say, well, look, yeah, he pinned me, but there was more than there was 5 of us in the match. I mean, if you really want to build up a rematch between Big E and Brock, you leave it a situation where Big E can say, but Brock, you didn't pin me.
Yeah.
All right. You didn't beat me, but Big E doesn't have that. Big E can't say that now. Brock pinned you and he pinned you clean.
But he's a babyface. He can say, okay, you were the better man last night. Give me my rematch. And he can go in the Royal Rumble and win it and choose him and go to WrestleMania and beat Brock.
It's true, but all that could happen if without him pinning Big E. All that could still happen.
Yeah,
that's all. So it's a nitpicky thing. Look, it's Brock. There's no shame getting pinned by Brock. Brock has pinned The Rock. He's pinned Roman. He's pinned the biggest names in this business. So it is nitpicky, but why couldn't he have pinned Owens? So anyway, my grade, I still go pay-per-view worthy, but like I said, it flirted with superb. I really enjoyed this match.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Go ahead, but
I smell shit.
Come on.
Well, it's not the worst grade, so I'm not mad about it.
No, but okay, let me just ask you this before, and then I'll leave you uninterrupted. Was it because you didn't like the result, or did you just think the match was bad?
Both.
Okay.
It was short. I'll give him that.
This was nothing but a demolition derby. It was just a mess. It was just a mess. And as soon as the mess started happening, I'm like, oh shit, Brock's gonna win. I mean, it was just, you could just tell because it was being this car wreck of a mess. It was way too short. And what do you do with the Roman storyline now? You just now throw that away? Are we going to combine the belts? Are we going to have champion versus champ? What do we do with that now?
Here's what I told Rob earlier, and this is why I think they did what they did, because even though the normal timetable could be 5 days, could be 2 weeks, they don't know what the actual timetable could be. It could be a month before Roman comes back. Months. So why you gotta give Brock something to do? So that's kind of and I'm not saying it's a reasonable excuse, but WWE, they're gonna go with the easy way every time. So we don't have Roman. Our only other big ticket, because we don't make any other new stars, is Brock Lesnar. So there you go.
Yeah. See, here's to me why, if what you're saying is true, what they could have done is they could have said, okay, look, if Roman's not going to be back, well, we're going to need an interim champion. Boom. You put it on Brock.
He has to not defend it for 30 days.
No, if it's a medical condition. Well, come on, Eric. They can change those rules, because we also know that Roman is immunocompromised because of his leukemia. So they could bypass that 30 days. If they're telling us that COVID has really done some significant damage to Roman's immune system, they can get past that 30 days. I don't know.
But you're saying announce that now. You can't do it now. The thing about it is they had to do something reactive. That's why I said even if the Roman match would have taken place, Brock still would have won. And that's why I'm not being a hypocrite at all. I predicted Brock to win no matter what match he was in, he was going to win.
And I was with you. I think, and I'll have to listen back to the show, but I think I predicted Brock to beat Roman.
You did.
Right. So my point was that he would beat Roman. Roman would have to enter the Rumble, and then we're set up for a rematch at Mania. Well, now I guess you could still do champion versus champion, but and what happens with Paul Heyman? Okay, you've got Roman as a champion. You've got Brock as a champion. So where is Heyman's allegiance? And do we now see now that Brock is a champion, is he still chasing Roman? Or now is Bobby chasing Brock? And if so, then who is chasing Roman?
I think we're getting too fixated that we think that whoever's champion right now is going to be champion at Mania. We don't know that. All this can change by the time the Rumble rolls around. Who's to say if they don't do Lashley and Lesnar and Lashley doesn't win? Who's to say that they don't? I said this on the prediction show. You need to do something with Drew, so you do Drew and Roman at Mania. I mean, it doesn't have to be Brock. I mean, this happens in wrestling. Sometimes storylines have to get dropped. It happens. In this case, it's COVID. That's a valid reason to me. Dropped. Okay, well, we'll pick up on this later.
Well, look, I'll say this and then I'll let Book go. I will say that this whole switch with Brock, this whole flipping the script, I will say it's more interesting because now I have no idea where the hell they're going to go with the Rumble or with Mania. So at least I'm intrigued. So I'll leave it there.
As far as the rest of this match, Owens was an afterthought, clearly, and we all knew he would be. By the way this match ended, clearly pushing the Brock Bobby thing. Hooray. Mm-hmm. Big E. I kind of feel bad for him.
I do.
Me too.
I mean, he's following in a somewhat different way, a very different way, what a former teammate had to endure dealing with Brock Lesnar. At least he didn't get beaten 9 seconds. But once again, Vince says, sorry, black guy, you're going to have to get your ass kicked by Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
So Seth Rollins, I feel kind of really bad about because he's one person you don't need to make a bitch. And they basically, in a way, kind of made him a bitch.
Well, he didn't need the pin.
He didn't need the pin, but it's like, well, why even do this match? I just don't like that Brock just waltzed in and now he's WWE champ. I just don't like it. I get why you're doing it. I totally get why. But I just don't. It just doesn't agree with me. So it's some bullshit. And yes, it definitely leaves some questions for what's going to happen the next few months. But it may also mean the WWE itself doesn't know what the hell they're doing. I mean, this is clearly a Vince move. I'm just confused by the whole thing. I don't agree with it, but I understand why you do it. All you have to do is listen to the pop when Brock Lesnar's music kicked in. That was an LOD pop. That was an Austin pop. Yeah. That was a huge pop. Huge. So I get it. I absolutely get it. Yeah. I just don't like it.
Yeah, I don't blame anybody that doesn't like it. Here's what I do. I just call it like I see it, and I go by what I believe in my heart is going to happen. Just because I type it in the chat doesn't mean it's what I want to happen. What I wanted in my heart was for Big E to win. But I knew the second that Brock was in the match, over with. The second he cut the promo backstage and he said, it's not a prediction, it's a spoiler, over with. It was done.
But do you know why you thought that? Because it's like the point I was trying to make about Liv and Becky. Brock is so over, you can't have him not win.
Right, but you're missing the point I'm making with Liv. Is I'm not saying she should automatically be catapulted to that kind of status. It's building blocks. You can't even get to the building blocks with somebody because they're always losing, and that's the point I was making with Bray Wyatt too. He had to start over how many times because he just lost every single time he come out. He would cut the best promos and he would lose every single time. How in the hell are you supposed to get behind that?
Let me ask you something here, Rob. You love The Rock.
Yeah.
Did it make you feel any different about The Rock that he was always losing to Austin? He just always lost to Austin year after year after year after year until that last WrestleMania where he finally got over.
It was 3 WrestleManias. He lost 2. He won the last one.
That's what I just said. The last one. That's what I just said.
Austin outside of WrestleMania, so it wasn't like he never won. That's the point I'm making. He won eventually. There was a back and forth at some point, just like Triple H and Mankind exchange wins. Triple H and Rock exchange wins. Mankind and The Rock exchange wins. Undertaker and everybody he's faced has exchanged wins, except when it comes to Becky, Brock, and Roman. They don't lose.
Well, to answer the question, as a Rock fan, did it bother me? Yes. But as a wrestling fan, knowing how the business works, did it bother me? No, because I knew that Stone Cold was so over that nobody was going to beat Stone Cold. Stone Cold was selling the tickets. Stone Cold was selling out the arenas. And so they weren't going to have anybody beat him. So I understood that.
Though now it's a different time now. You got social media now. You've got all the other things that are encompassed in what builds a superstar. And maybe Rob, because you're not on social media, maybe that plays a role in why you don't believe in Liv as much. Maybe
I'm on social media and I still don't.
I'm just saying there are ways to build somebody and there's ways to tear somebody down. What reason would you have now if she's lost to Becky on Raw? What reason would she have to ever come back? And
who cares? She doesn't.
Well, no, I'm not going to be like
right now. Right now, she's just not ready for it. I said earlier. In the future, definitely. Just
like I said, not everybody can be a champion. Just because you're not a champion doesn't mean you're not a star. Champion should be a select few. Everybody, there shouldn't be participation trophies. Everybody who's great shouldn't be a champion.
But when you're okay, well, we're not going to agree on this, and it's fine. But I believe WWE is making a mistake, and it's the same mistake they've been making for years with a bunch of people, not just Liv. That's the point I'm making. It's been a bunch of people that they. I get it, Eric. But and once you lose so much, the thing about The Rock's not a fair comparison because The Rock was a champion before he faced Stone Cold. You got to remember, Rock went into WrestleMania as the champion both times. So keep that in mind. Liv hasn't won shit. And there's been a lot of
There's a reason for that.
Cesaro hasn't won shit either. And y'all want
There's a reason. And there's a reason for that, unfortunately, too.
Okay, well, whatever. Well, the point I'm making is this. Bray Wyatt, both his championship reigns were short. And it shouldn't have been. He should have been the next Undertaker, and he wasn't because Vince couldn't get out of his damn way. And he's going to keep doing this until he dies.
Well, and look at Bray Wyatt now. Such a great talent, and nobody's hired him.
He is hired.
Who hired him?
AEW hired him. He just ain't showed up yet.
Oh, okay. I hadn't heard that.
That's what they said. They said he was hired.
It took long enough when WWE fired him. I said, maybe it wasn't WWE's fault. And it sure took a long time for somebody else to hire him.
He was the #1 merch seller.
Well, that's my point. So why would you get rid of your #1 merch seller if there's not something else going on?
Same reason you get rid of Braun Strowman and all these other people that you overpaid because you didn't want AEW to take them at a time when they were coming up. Because when AEW came into the picture, a lot of people's contracts were expiring. So what WWE did was say, hey, let's overpay them now to keep them so that they don't get them. And then, on the back end, we'll let them go when we don't need them. And we'll get our money back. But they're on a whole different mission now to sell the company. So it's totally different now.
Yeah.
It's not like it used to be. I know, Rob, you want to think like it was back in the day. It's not like that anymore. The business in WWE, especially with them trying to sell the company, you got to get outside of just the old casual way of thinking. They're looking at numbers. They, like you always talk about, they're a publicly traded company now, so they got other people in their ear.
I've been saying that.
If y'all don't got Roman on the show, y'all better put Brock over there.
Yeah, I've been saying that.
Brock.
And you know what? Whatever WWE is doing, it's keeping them the biggest wrestling company in the world.
Yeah.
All the complaints, everybody whining about this wrestler and that wrestler, WWE is still the biggest player on the block. Now, I'm not saying AEW isn't cutting into it. They are. But WWE is still the big boy.
Agreed.
Yep. Good conversation. To me, it's a great way to start the year.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why we do this. We should. It's okay to not agree on the same stuff. I mean, it's fine. But
I think it's better that way. I think it makes for a more interesting show. I've had a little too many tonight. That's why I'm slurring my speech. But I think
I was wondering.
That's what's great about our show. We always all don't agree, but it's respectful.
But you're doing better than somebody else who calls somebody Maurice.
Oh,
well, you know.
Oh, I don't know why that took me out, but it did. I was not ready for that. Oh man.
Hey man, leave it to Doc, man. We got to have him on more, man, because he never fails to provide a memorable moment.
Fucking killed me there.
well, you already have material for this year's end of year show. He already gave you the first material.
Yeah, that's the first
Didn't
clip
waste
right there.
Day one.
Day one. Oh man. Well,
Day one, Doc.
This will no doubt be a 2-part episode because I know we ran a little long. Damn, it's midnight.
Yeah, we got a little, you know.
And on the Liv Morgan, I did not see that coming. I didn't see that coming.
We're gonna drop that because we gotta get it.
Yeah.
I gotta
we'll
go outside and shovel.
Yeah, we'll move on.
We appreciate y'all for listening and watching. Make sure you check out all our previous shows. We got Tropic Thunder, movie review. Obviously, at the end of the month, Royal Rumble coming up. There's look on our YouTube channel. We got Trying to Laugh videos on there, and we will get back to doing the Rocky series. I keep saying that. I know, but, you know, the holidays hit and it got busy, it got crazy. So we'll get back to that. Rundown will probably be out this month, and then New Year's. What's it called? NXT New Year's
Evil.
New Year's Evil.
Yeah, we may or may not cover that. I don't know. There's only 2 matches I care about. So we'll see. Outside of that, you can look forward to content on YouTube channel. If you're not on the YouTube, make sure you go check us out. Search us on YouTube, Third Gen Wrestling. And otherwise, if you're just an audio podcast listener, check us out on all your favorite podcast platforms, and as well as check out MJ Book, the Countdown Podcast 2020 on all the podcast platforms, as well as his YouTube. Rob and myself have been guests on there, and we will be again soon. And next week we'll be doing our best and worst of 2021 as far as wrestling goes. So that'll be interesting to see everybody's picks on that. Yeah, that's what we got coming up. Thank you all for watching and listening. Hope you enjoyed the debate and the talk and the grades, and hope you enjoyed Doc and his foolishness. We appreciate y'all. We already belabored the point with COVID, so we're not going to talk about that now. So take care, everybody. Happy New Year, and we'll see you again soon.
Happy 2022.